The ones who late, now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.
VoiceTV.com, the home for intelligent Black people. I'm going to give you guys a chance to come into the chat so we can have a good morning conversation. And an intelligent conversation means that, you know, we tend to lean toward facts and data and information, and we like to be smarter. Even if you agree with me, if you educate me, then you are my friend. And so I hope that you guys agree with that sentiment, because I think right now we kind of need some intelligence, you know, in terms of how we talk to each other. We need some common sense, man. I feel like the country's kind of lost some of that. I think that we've now sort of replaced that for this really weird partisanship and people just believing what they want to believe, and that's really it. And everybody's guilty of it. You know, I know people that have PhDs and MDs and stuff like that who just sort of see the world in their way, and that's really it. And I don't like that, man. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't like that at all. I woke up thinking about it this morning because I saw the way people were reacting to conversations about, you know, opening up the economy and you know, just getting back to living life, people getting their jobs back, you know, stuff like that. You know, and so I'm gonna just start off by basically saying that anything that I say today is with all due respect to anybody who disagrees with me. I am not here to tell you that you are wrong. I'm just here to provide a context, man. I just want to provide a context. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitter, please retweet. If you're on Facebook, please share this video real quick. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to send a text out to the family to let them know that we're live, and we can get it cracking. Okay. Okay, so here's what happened. Here's what got my attention today. You know, what I was thinking about this morning when I woke up. And I just told Alicia, I said, you know, I really want to talk about this because I feel like there's something to be said about it. So it had to do with Dr. Oz. And Dr. Oz, I assume you guys know about Dr. Oz. If you know about Dr. Oz, just say yes in the chat. How many of you know who Dr. Oz is? Dr. Oz, they call him America's Doctor. I don't know who America's Doctor is, but he's got a TV show. He's been on TV for a long time. Give me a yes or no in the chat if you know who Dr. Oz is. And also give me a yes or no in the chat if you are aware of what Dr. Oz said about this whole corona thing. Give me a yes or no. What's up, Ryan McCrary? Ryan McCrary, very smart Black man. I just respect Ryan so much. Every time I see your name, man, I just want to say it out loud because I think everybody should hear it, and everybody will hear it because he's a very smart brother. Well, okay. So Dr. Oz, here's what happened with Dr. Oz, and so I'm gonna just kind of try to talk about it in a way where we can be honest and we can all still love each other, and also we don't piss off too many people. I mean, sometimes the truth just pisses people off, and if you get pissed off by the truth, then I can't help you. But if you just want to hear a point of view and you don't get offended by open ideas or whatever, then this is a good conversation for you. All right, so Dr. Oz went on to he was on Fox, and which right there, that's a strike against you. I mean, we know what Fox is. We know, they represent misinformation. Now, mind you, Dr. Oz is also a guy that'll go on other networks too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he's a Fox guy, but he happened to be on Fox. Remember, even Obama went on Fox, so a lot of people go on Fox. So being on Fox doesn't necessarily define what you represent. But Dr. Oz made a statement about kids going back to school, and he basically said that there was a study in the Lancet, I think that's what the name of the journal was, that says that they found that keeping kids out of school only saved about 2 to 3% in total mortality for the corona thing. And I saw that and I was like, oh, okay, he must mean 2% of the total, 2-3% of the total. I said, okay, that's about, I think as of right now, the specific data says we've had 38,000 deaths from corona in the United States. So 1% is 3,800, 2% would be about 7,600. Sorry, scratch that. Wait, I said that wrong, didn't I? Sorry. 1% is 380. 2% would be about 760 people, right? Or let's say 1,000, right? Okay. 1,000 deaths is a bad thing no matter what. But then the fundamental question becomes, does it make sense to close down every single school in America of 4,000 people? That becomes one of those really grim trade-offs that, people don't like to make or like to even talk about, right? Joseph Stalin used to say that one death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic. And so given that we all agree that one death is a tragedy, the idea of even saying it like that is very uncomfortable for a lot of people who care about human life. No question about it. Now, here's where, sorry guys, let me know if you guys can hear me and see me okay. Give me a yes or no if you can hear me and see me okay. Because I know on Instagram you guys might not be able to hear me properly. So I woke up the next day and I saw that the whole internet, a lot of people on the internet, not the whole internet, but a big chunk of the internet kind of went bananas, went berserk. And they said, how dare he say this? How dare he say this? I'm like, how dare he say what? And what I saw that people were concluding was that Dr. Oz was saying that keeping the schools open would have caused 2% of the American population to be dead, right? I think it was 2 to 3%. That's what it was. So you're talking about, so instead of 760 to, say 1,000 people, they thought he was talking about 3 million people. 1% of the American population is 3.3 million. So 2% would be about 6.6 million, right? So 6 million dead in order to, open the schools. Now, I was like, where did they get that from? So I listened to what Dr. Oz said again, and I could see where people could misinterpret what he said. I could see where people heard what he said and thought that he meant something other than what he was actually saying. And so I don't blame necessarily people for misinterpreting that. What I did have a challenge, what challenged me a little bit was, I read the Griot, and the Griot, basically was saying, how dare this guy say, that 2 million people should die? Like, what's going on? This is ridiculous. This is crazy. How dare you say? And I was like, okay, I understand if a regular person who doesn't know statistics, might think that. I can see where a person who doesn't want to do the research might come to that conclusion. But I feel that a journalist should stop and say, wait a minute, that don't even sound right. What did you say? Can you clarify? Let me go read the original article. The article from The Lancet is out there. You can go look it up for yourself. And, and see that they clearly weren't saying that opening schools, that we should kill 2 million people to open schools. Like, they weren't saying that. Nobody would ever say anything that crazy. And so what this really said to me, like this whole incident said to me, again, as a person who's not, I'm not told you guys where I stand in terms of voting. I'm not voting for Democrats or Republicans. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. I'm just not a fan of any of that. I don't vote for stupid stuff. I just don't. I'm sorry. You get mad at me, say whatever you want, but you're not going to take away my right to choose. But what it says to me is that 3 things. 1, people don't read. People don't do their own research, which is a big mistake in this society. It says 2, instead of doing their own research, they do their research on CNN. They watch CNN, which has a direct economic incentive to scare the hell out of you every night so they can make money. CNN's ratings have been plummeting for years. So they are thanking God that the coronavirus came along, because they can now make money again. They are a corporation. If anybody understands how corporations think and how capitalists think, it's me. I study capitalism. I'm a finance professor. I've studied this stuff for years. They are happy that they are able to get your eyes glued to the screen, and they understand the same way politicians understand that the best way to motivate people is through fear. They're using fear to keep you on edge because they know that boosts their ratings. The third thing it says to me is that this whole conversation about this virus, this very serious discussion about this virus that could, potentially harm a lot of people, this whole conversation has become so partisan that it's gotten to the point of being silly. People literally choose their facts based on what their political party is. They choose their strategy based on their political party. If you are liberal, then you believe that we should just stay home forever, I guess, or until we have 0 deaths from corona. Like not one single person anywhere dies from it and is completely eradicated. And there's not even a 1 in 10 billion chance you're going to get it. You believe people should stay home until then. I don't know how those people plan to pay the bills. But hey, I have my homeboy. My homeboy used to play in the NBA. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not trying to make it into like a disagreement or anything. But he was saying that Trump was full of crap and all these people full of crap. They want to open the economy. We should just stay home because it's not safe to go out. And I said, brother, I think it's easy for you to say that because you got 10, 15, $20 million in the bank. Yeah, you can stay home forever. I can stay home forever. I've been staying home. I've been home since the 90s, right? But some people got to get up and go to work. Some people are willing to take that chance so they don't get evicted. If you get evicted and you living on the street, then your chances of catching the virus are going to go way, way up. But then you have the conservative side where I heard a lady that went to church. She went to a big church gathering where there were a whole bunch of people at church, which is like the craziest thing to do right now. And they asked her, they said, so how do you think that you're gonna, aren't you worried about catching the virus? And she said, she said, no. He said, why? She said, because I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. And I've heard that talk before. I come from a Christian family and I have a lot of respect for the church. And I know what you mean when you say covered with the blood of Jesus, but you also cover with the blood of ignorance. Like you cover with the blood of stupidity. I don't know if Jesus is going, I don't know if praying going to stop you from catching a virus if you're out here being stupid, right? So I think most of my Christian friends who are watching, I hope you will agree with me when I say that Jesus does not insure you against stupid behavior, right? So you just got the extremes, these partisan extremes, and I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's not good for this country. I'm just going to tell you this right now. America will fall because of this division. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. So anyway, as I keep going, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And just a reminder, we're doing Black Movie Night. You guys know that we're building our own Black movie industry by supporting Black filmmakers right here in our own community who are making great movies. And so on the 23rd, we're showing The Melanin Code by Marcus Small. I'm an executive producer, but Marcus is the director, and it's a great film. So if you like films like Hidden Colors, stuff like that, The Melanin Code fits that genre. So if you'd like to join us, you can join for free. You can go to blackmovienight.net. That's blackmovienight.net. So somebody type in blackmovienight.net, not .com, .net. All right, so let's keep going. All right, so let me just tell you a little bit. Let me put this into context. I'm gonna make a proposal. Let's call this I'm gonna call together the Council of Intelligent Black People. I got my Vicky Diller gavel, and I would like to make a proposal so that we can stay safe. We're gonna call this the Dr. Boyce Keep Everybody Safe proposal, right? The Dr. Boyce no death proposal, the 0 death, because our goal, I figured out what the virus is. The virus in our society is death. The virus is death. Death is we must cure death, because death is killing people all the time, and it's bad, and I'm just tired of these funerals, and I don't want nobody to die who didn't have to die. Right? Now don't get me wrong, some people just get old, and that's fine, but I don't want anybody to die who didn't have to die. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm similar. I'm almost like a social version of a hypochondriac, in the sense that, when I was a kid, my mama told me a long time ago something that a lot of y'all Negroes still ain't figured out. She told me this when I was a kid. She said, my dad told me this too, that I was a black man. I know a lot of y'all never got told that. Some of y'all brothers out here still, run around with Becky's and getting falsely accused of rape and everything else, and getting into stupid white boy situations. I never did that, because my parents told me something a lot of black people don't find out until they're about 40, which is that I was a black man. And as a black man, one of the things I always knew was that if you mess up your life, if you make bad decisions, then you're going to have bad consequences. If you go out here and you get locked up, my parents weren't the types that's going to go bail me out of jail. They told me straight up. They said, if you get locked up, then you're just going to stay locked up. You're going to stay in jail until you learn your lesson. Anybody else got parents like that? They just literally told you, like you make your bed, you're going to have to sleep in it. We're not going to come make your bed for you. So I grew up on something that's really rare these days that people think is abusive and mean, and they just don't believe in this. And this is called personal responsibility. So personal responsibility was just big in my household, you know, and that's why I'm not politically correct. That's why I don't fit in with mainstream America. I'm not a person who's going to agree with you when you tell me that obesity or alcoholism is just a disease and you had no choice in the matter, that somebody just poured that liquor down your throat, or somebody just made you eat all them fucking Cheetos and cupcakes and that, you know, I just don't, I'm not that guy. I'm just not that guy. I'm the guy who says, get your fat ass up and run around the block a couple times and then you won't be so big. Like, seriously, like I'm like that, right? That's why I'm just not a nice person. I am not a nice person. And I'm a meanie, and how dare, you know, holding people accountable is just something that we're not allowed to do anymore. So that's why I don't fit in. That's why you'll never you'll never hear that Dr. Boyce Watkins has a show on CNN, because I don't fit in the world that we live in. I should have been born on a different planet or in a different era. So definitely before integration. Before integration is when I really should have been born, because that's when I would have been happiest, because I'm allergic to irresponsibility. I'm allergic to white people. I just want, no disrespect if you're white. If you're white, you're welcome. Good. I'm glad you're here, because that means you're probably one of us, or you think like us anyway. But seriously, I just don't, that's not me. So here's what I want to do. So as a person who thinks that way, a few choices I made early, because I just really believe, perhaps falsely, that much of my life was built on my personal choices. Here are a few things I did. Number one, I never drank. I watched a lot of my uncles and cousins, and I saw black men, especially black men in my own family, who got took by the demon of alcohol. Alcohol wiped their asses out. I'm talking about, I saw them at 18, really smart, ambitious, had a great future. They maybe one of my homeboys, he pledged a fraternity. Next thing you know, he was an alcoholic. A year later, he's been an alcoholic literally for the last 25, 30 years. He's literally still, I mean, and it's sad. It's so sad. You know, he'll pass out in the front yard, or his kids don't respect him. You know, and I remember just thinking, I don't want to be that man. I don't want to be that man. So that's one of the, so at an early age, I made a decision. I'm never gonna drink, because I don't want to fuck with something that's gonna kill me or put me in a position where I'm gonna get locked up, or because I did something stupid. Malcolm X used to say, the white man will sell you the liquor bottle and then he'll lock you up for being drunk. That's what Malcolm said. I took that to heart. Other things I did not do. I did not smoke, because smoking, for obvious reasons, you know, I saw lung cancer, what that does to people. I had people in my family die from lung cancer. I didn't go to clubs. I didn't go to the club. You know why? Well, because, you know, I in my era growing up with hip hop, you know, hip hop started going into that gangster shit. And I saw the same narrative play out over and over again in the lives of black men around me. You go to the club, everybody's drinking, you know, somebody step on your toe, somebody pull out a gun. You step on my toe, you disrespect me, nigga. Pop, pop, pop. Right? Next thing you know, one black man's dead. The other one's on his way to prison. I said, I don't want to be either one of those guys. I don't want to have to make a choice between death or prison. So I'm just going to stay home. I have had friends, literally, I'm not kidding. I've had friends that have got long prison sentences because of self-defense. Because somebody shot at them at the club. They shot back. Police don't give a shit. They like, well, we just lock up all the niggas in the room, right? That's what they're thinking, right? So I figured this out. This is stuff I figured out when I was 20 years old. Now, again, maybe it takes some people a little bit longer, because I ain't gonna lie, I was a little smart for my age. I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably a smart ass too. You know, I got on people's nerves, but that's what it was. So just kind of going down the list, I've always felt it was important to always try to make choices that would minimize my probability of preventable death. Now, I'm getting here. I promise you, I'm getting to the point here. I'm getting to the point. I just have to lay this out so you can understand the context within which I'm about to lay out my proposal. So given that I, you know, most of my life, I'm not perfect. I've probably done some dumb things at some point. I'm sure I have, but I ain't gonna tell you what they are, because I don't want y'all making fun of me today. We're not here to stupid shame. You're not gonna shame me for being stupid. But you know, I've always been into kind of, you know, avoiding things that are gonna kill me. Seriously, I don't believe in death. I don't, especially if it happens to me. I don't want it to happen. And so I have a proposal called the Dr. Boyce Zero Death Proposal. I don't want anybody in America, anywhere, to die from anything that is preventable. We start with Corona. Right? 34,000 people have died from Corona so far. Actually, according to the data, it's 34,641 Corona deaths in the United States as of this point. 678,000 cases, but the vast majority, the overwhelming majority of those people that catch it, they survive. And then if you're under the age of 50, your chances of dying, even if you are unlucky enough to get the virus, are less than 1%. Now, mind you, again, 1% of the population is about 3.3 million. So if you look at the total number of cases, basically 1 in every 500, 600, 700 people catches the virus. So you got to be really unlucky to catch it. And then if you catch it, you got to be really unlucky to die from it if you're under 50 or 60 years old. Now, if you're 85, then you got a 1 in 5 chance of dying, or 1 in 5, 1 in 4 chance of dying. So that means if you have 4 85-year-olds who have Corona, 1 of them will die. So even then, grandma is still expected to live. I think it's important to know the data and to know the facts, as opposed to just being, having people scare the shit out of you from telling you one person's story. Because that's what they do. That's how they make their money. Now, here's my proposal. The Dr. Boyce zero death proposal is going to prevent all, or is going to eradicate. We want to eradicate all preventable deaths. So first thing I want to do is I want to mention that 647,000 people, now 34,000 people died from Corona, but 647,000 people, 20 times more people, die from heart disease every year. Did y'all know that? How many? Give me a yes or no if you know that almost 700,000 people die every year in the United States from heart disease related issues. Now here's the thing. I don't want to be mean here. I just got to lay out some facts for you. Now, one of the most preventable dimensions of heart disease is, they are things like obesity. Right? So because I don't want anybody to die, because we care about human life, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to save lives here. I'm saving lives. Stop fucking with me. I'm saving people's lives right now. I want to announce that we are going to ban Lizzo from ever performing again, because Lizzo, from what I saw, what I read, and I quote, she said that she enjoys being that fat bitch. And she markets the idea that being, 400 pounds and twerking at the same time, showing every jelly roll on your body, that is a source of pride. And I know you might say that I'm fat shaming Lizzo, but goddamn it, I'm gonna save some lives. So we're not anymore gonna mass market. We're not gonna allow the mass marketing of obesity, because hundreds of thousands of people die every year, 10 times more than the coronavirus, die from the virus of obesity. So Lizzo, I'm gonna lay out the proposal when I go back to Congress, that we're going to ban Lizzo from performing, because we're not going to have you marketing to people that they want to be that fat bitch, because being the fat bitch means you're also going to be the dead bitch, and we don't want that. So no mass promotion of obesity ever. We're going to ban that. That's not going to happen anymore. Also, the other thing we're going to do is because we want to save lives now, right? Because remember, Corona, we got 34,000 deaths in Corona. Well, we got 647,000 in heart disease. A lot of that heart disease can be stopped by obesity. So we're going to also legally require everybody who's overweight, you're going to be required to jog at least 1 mile a day. You ain't got to, you can walk half of the way, you can run. Everybody in America that's overweight is going to be forced to jog 1 mile a day. When I was obese, when I was way overweight, Alicia got me out there, got me running. I was huffing and puffing. I didn't like it. It was inconvenient, but it made a hell of a difference in my health. It made a hell of a difference in my weight. It probably reduced my likelihood of dying from heart disease by 30, 40, 50%. So we're going to legally require everyone to run a mile per day. If you do not run your mile that day, you will go to jail. We will put you in jail. But it's really not going to be like a jail. It's going to be like a fat farm. And we're going to make you get your ass up and go running every day in order to lose weight. Now, some people can't help it because the liberals tell you that obesity is a disease and you can't help it. Okay, well, we're going to test that theory. So everybody that is obese, we're still going to make you run your mile every day. And I bet you every nickel in my bank account that 99% of the obese people are going to lose some weight if we take those Cheetos and Twizzlers and candy bars out of your mouth and make you run a mile every day. And I'm not making fun of fat people. God forbid, I would never fat shame. I'm not making fun of fat, because if I do that, I'm making fun of myself. If I do that, I'm making fun of because I mean, I have a weight problem, right? I have always had it. Once you have it, you always got it. It never goes away. But running makes a big difference. So I'm going to require everybody to run. Lizzo is banned. Oh, and the last thing we got to do here, since we're saving lives now, mind you, again, if you don't agree with me, then what's wrong with you? I mean, we're trying to save lives here. We're trying to save lives. I mean, y'all want to keep everybody at home, and people can't never go to work. People can't never leave the house for another 2-3 years until Corona is completely gone, because that's what the Democrats told you, or that's what CNN told you. Okay, fine. You want to save 34,000 lives. I want to save 500,000 lives. So Lizzo is banned. No more mass marketing of obesity, telling everybody you want to be that fat bitch. Every person overweight is legally required to run 1 mile per day. Oh, and also every neighborhood in America, we're going to confiscate all products that contain any form of sugar. That means no sugar is allowed anymore. If you get caught with sugar, we're going to treat it like cocaine. Just the same way, you get popped with some coke and you get 20 years, we're going to give you 20 years to life if you get caught in possession of sugar or saving or selling sugar. If you are a trafficker of sugar, then we're going to treat you like the fat Pablo Escobar. You're going to be Pablo Escobar if you get caught trafficking sugar. So let's keep going down. This is the Dr. Boyce Save All Lives Matter proposal. There you go. That's a good one. The Dr. Boyce All Lives Matter proposal, where again, we're trying to save lives. Now again, smart people will get what I'm saying here. Stupid people are going to just get mad because they don't know how to respond to logic and facts and information. They only know how to respond angrily when you say something that doesn't fit a preconceived partisan agenda. Again, you're trying to say you're upset about these 34,000 people that might die from Corona, and I am too. That's sad. But what they don't tell you in media is they don't tell you that most of these people are very old and most of these people are very sick. Most of these people are very old and most of these people are very sick, and 34,000 in a country of 330 million is not a big number. It's just not. It doesn't mean that their lives don't matter. Every life matters. I mean, shit, if we could live in a world where nobody died ever, that would be wonderful in my mind. Like, that would be the most beautiful thing in America. But unfortunately, we live in this place called the real world. In the real world, 8,000 people die every day just because. At least 8,000 people die every day just because. So how are you going to tell me that you're saving lives and you want to shut down the rest of the entire economy, shut down all the schools? People can't pay their bills. People can't go to work. People going to get evicted. And you want to do all this because you're afraid we might get another 1,200 Corona. I mean, let's keep going. There's more to my proposal. I don't know if y'all know that 83,000 people last year on diabetes was listed as the cause of death on 83,000 death certificates. Scientists actually say that the true number when they did the research is actually more than 250,000. 270,000 death certificates list diabetes as a cause of death. Did y'all know that? Corona was 34,000. Diabetes is up 270. Corona, diabetes, right? So that further supports my ban on sugar, my ban on Lizzo. Lizzo cannot, because marketing matters. People are influenced by marketing. Every study in America shows you that marketing works. That's why corporations spend billions of dollars marketing things. So, you have hip hop marketing the execution genocide of Black people. That's why you see young kids popping mollies and getting into materialism and having unprotected, unsafe sex and killing each other. Well, maybe we should ban that too, in addition to banning Lizzo. And I don't want to make this a sexist thing. So we're going to ban every retarded ass rapper who ever makes any reference to the joy of killing another Black man, because that is a preventable cause of death. There's lots of brothers. Do you know how many brothers out here have been shot up by some dude that was that probably still wanted to kill anyway, but the music kind of made him think that killing is okay? Doesn't mean everybody that listens to the music wants to be a killer. I'm not saying that at all, but it does mean that maybe you should actually consider the fact that marketing does make a difference. So when you're talking about preventable causes of death, or you're talking about viruses, you have to talk about what's being marketed to people, because the biggest viruses that exist in our society are viruses of the mind. That's why when they talk about something on the internet that becomes very popular, what do they say? They say it went viral. My left hook just went viral, right? Viral. Why do they use the word viral? Well, because they know that ideas spread just like a virus. The difference is that the ideas spread faster. You can have a virus on the internet, or a virus of the mind, that spreads to the entire earth within 24 hours. Corona don't move that fast. So again, let's keep going. This is a good, oh man, we're gonna really save some lives today. Did you guys also know that 169,000 people, now remember Corona 34,000. We're talking small potatoes in terms of saving lives now. That's what you want to do, right? So did you know that 169,000 people die every year in car crashes? How many of y'all knew that? Again, we hunting death. We're hunting death. We want to eradicate all death. So because we want to save lives, that's what matters here. Because that's what I get accused of when I start talking. People are like, Doc, you don't want to save lives. You don't care about people. You want people to die. Okay, cool. Well, then let's save some lives. Did you know that 169,000 people die every year from car accidents? How many of y'all knew that? Give me a yes or no if you knew that. So obviously, the answer's right in front of our face. We're going to, so my next proposal is I propose that we ban all forms of vehicular transportation. We ban all cars, we ban all buses, we ban all minivans, we ban all motorcycles. My gosh, motorcycles, man. Some of y'all probably know somebody who's died in a motorcycle. I mean, think about how many lives we're gonna save by telling people that if you gotta go somewhere, you're gonna have to walk. You can't even take a train, because people have died on trains too. You do know that, right? You do know that, right? So if we're talking about, again, Luminary, just hear me out here. Hear me out here. If you're talking about saving lives, remember, people got mad at Dr. Oz because he said that opening schools would cost about another 1,000 to 2,000 lives, right? Well, so you want to save lives, so you want to keep schools closed forever. You want to keep businesses closed forever. You want to keep people home from work forever, keep them from being able to pay their bills, keep them from being able to feed their kids, keep them from being able to go out and do anything, keep them from being able to live. Okay, to save 1,200 lives. Well, banning automobiles would save 169,000 people. And if you don't agree with me, then what's wrong with you? Don't you care about human life? What kind of monster are you? My God, these people are terrible. So here's some other things we should ban in order to save lives. I don't know if you guys know this. This is a good one too. Did you know that 88,000 people die every year from alcohol? Did y'all know that? Tell me if you knew that. That 88,000 people die every year from alcohol-related deaths. And in fact, actually, if you think deeply about alcohol, this is what's fascinating. This is why I never drank. Most campus sexual assaults occur when one or both parties are inebriated or under the influence of alcohol. Did you know that? So I say that we go ahead and just ban liquor. Did you? In fact, liquor was actually listed as the most dangerous drug in the world. More dangerous than crack, more dangerous than heroin, more dangerous than anything out there. And the reason is because everybody thinks it's safe. And they don't know how many people die every year and how many people get raped because of alcohol and things like that. That alcohol does play a part in this. Like Jamie Foxx used to say, blame it on the alcohol, right? So instead of us blaming on the alcohol, why don't we ban alcohol? Why don't we just ban all liquor? Because that will save 88,000 lives a year. So Corona, you eradicate Corona, you save 34,000 lives, but if you ban liquor, you save 88,000 lives. Which is more important to you? So we're going to ban all liquor, no drinking. That means Diddy, you promoting your Ciroc. We catch you doing another Ciroc commercial. I saw a Ciroc commercial, or Ciroc, how do you pronounce that shit? I saw a Ciroc commercial on TV. If you run that commercial again, you're going to jail. You're going to prison. We're going to treat you like Pablo Escobar, because that's illegal. People are dying. My God, you're costing us human life. That's terrible. All right, because again, if everybody wants to keep all the schools shut down, because Dr. Oz said it would cost 2,000 lives to open schools, to let your kids go to school would cost 2,000 more lives. Most of those lives would be senior citizens. Most of those lives would be sick people, but still every life is valuable, right? So we want to keep all the schools closed, keep everybody home, whatever. Okay, all right, well then let's ban alcohol too. Also other things that we should ban, because these are things that cause death. No more going to the club, because people get shot at the club. So if you care about human life, we'll ban all nightclubs. Also cigarettes. Of course, cigarettes should be banned. You smoke a cigarette, you're going to jail. Oh, here's a good, y'all gonna love this, man. This is gonna save so many lives. I'm just on the road today, man. I'm pumped up because I'm feeling like Jesus right now. I'm saving so many. This is so cool. All right, so again, we're all staying home. We're gonna stay home forever because of Corona. Even though Corona's only killed 34,000 people, but you can't say only in 34,000, because 34,000 feels like a big number, right? Even though it's 1% of 1% of 1%. But that's fine. Okay, sure. But here's something that's fascinating. So 34,000 people died from Corona in the United States, right? You follow me? You follow me? Okay. Did y'all know that HIV/AIDS every year kills 479,000 people? Now, this is a global statistic. This is not the US statistic. This is global. 479,000 people. But yet, despite the fact that HIV/AIDS kills 479,000 people, y'all still out here fucking. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Having sex and stuff. 479,000 lives could be saved right now if we just banned all sex, unless it's regulated sex. So that means that if you're married, you can have sex with your spouse, because it gives you something to do, so you don't beat each other up and stuff like that. But if you're single, no sex for you. No more sex for you ever again, because by God, we want to save lives. And also, and if you do unprotected sex, we're going to charge you with murder, because that's just crazy. So we're going to ban. So here's what we're going to do, because we want to save lives. Again, people want to keep everything shut down forever because they're afraid another 5,000 people might die from Corona or whatever. Well, guess what? If we ban Lizzo marketing obesity, we ban all sugar, force all overweight people to go run a mile every day, we save several 100,000 lives, because 647,000 people die every year from heart disease. If we ban all automobiles, we save 169,000 lives, because 169,000 Americans die every year from car accidents. By also banning sugar, we're saving lots of lives, because diabetes is listed as a significant underlying cause of death on 270,000 death certificates. So again, Corona 34,000, diabetes 270. Corona 34,000, car accidents 169. Corona 34,000, heart disease 647,000. Many of these causes of death are all preventable the same way Corona is preventable. Corona scares you a little bit more because we're still learning about it and things like that. But one thing we have definitely learned is that Corona is most likely to kill people that are over the age of 85 and people that have several pre-existing conditions. And if you want to know, now again, this is actually a statement in favor of our community, in favor of saving lives in our community. If you want to know why a larger number of Black people are dying than white people from Corona, then you need to go right back to white supremacy and dumping all that sugar and unhealthy food right there in your neighborhoods that we're eating up every day. And believe me, and I know a lot of folks, I got a lot of folks that preach to me constantly about healthy eating and becoming vegan and all that. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I just want to ignore that so I can eat a cheeseburger and drink some Kool-Aid with it, right? So I'm probably like a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all ignore that. You don't listen to health food experts the way you listen to ignorant rappers that tell you all the different ways that you could die before the age of 25, right? That's why many of the rappers are dying before the age of 25, because they're just damn good at it, right? So we don't listen to the people in our community that tell us about healthy eating. Some of us listen to them, but we don't listen to them as much as we listen to the rappers that tell you about all these great ways to die, right? We don't listen to those who talk about healthy economics and healthy education. We'd rather go to like DJ Nice or Diddy's little dance parties that they're having during the corona thing, right? So ain't nobody really trying to like really do better. We just would rather just wait until a bunch of us are dying and then we want to say white supremacy did it. Well, maybe white supremacy did do it, right? So maybe my ban on sugar and my ban on Lizzo and my ban on all forms of negative hip hop, maybe that is the thing that we need in order for us to combat white supremacy and to save a lot of lives. I don't know. Now let me just go full circle here. Let me go full circle. For those, some people take things so literally and they really think that I mean every single thing that I say. Some of y'all are, that's why I said this platform's for intelligent black people. I just say it from the beginning because when ignorant people come in here and they start, the ignorant motherfuckers are always the loudest. So they come in and they misinterpret everything and then they're like, Doc, you ain't shit. You a motherfucker. You a doctor. Okay, yeah. Let me just break it down for you and why I made these points. My point is to say this. You're never going to stop people from dying. Death is a part of life, man. Death is a part of life. Death is not something that you can prevent in all cases. It is simply something that you do your best to minimize under reasonable conditions, making trade-offs that you can live with. So I'm gonna just be point blank, period, honest with you, and you can get mad at me if you want. I don't care. But if you tell me that opening up the school so that millions of kids can be educated means that we might lose another 2,000 to corona, I'm okay with that. The same way I'm okay with the idea that getting back in our cars means that a few thousand people are gonna die in car accidents. You know, if people staying home, I'm sure the rate of car accident deaths has plummeted because we're all staying home and people aren't driving around in their cars. So I'm sure there's some scientists who could tell me that that there have been 5,000 fewer car-related deaths because nobody's driving their cars. And I think that's a good thing, but I don't think it's okay for us to keep our cars in the garage and never go anywhere. You know, I think that what's happened now is you've kind of shown, some of you that really are freaking out over 34,000 deaths to the point where it's paralyzing you. I believe that you're turning America into a pack of pussies. I really do. And actually, I shouldn't even say that you're turning America into a pack of pussies, because I'm actually insulting the vagina, because actually the vagina is a very strong, rugged thing, right, that can really take a pound. And Betty White pointed that out. So maybe I shouldn't have said it. Maybe I should say something else. But you've turned America into a pack of wimps where we're just scared to move forward and do anything because we think one person might get hurt. You know, and I think that even for black people, for the black folks that want to hide under their bed and forever, because there's a 1 in 500 chance that you might catch a virus and a 1 in 25,000 chance that you might die from it. I honestly, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I honestly believe that that's part of the reason why you've never been able to escape from slavery. Because Malcolm X used to tell you all the time. He said it all the time. I didn't say it. Malcolm said this, that the price for freedom is death. He said that, look, if you know that you always have a choice, and that if you really want freedom, then somebody's going to have to pay a price for that freedom, and some people will pay the ultimate price. So if you go into battle saying we demand our freedom, and ain't nobody ready to die for that, then you ain't gonna get no freedom, because everybody's gonna get scared. A slave master can control 5,000 slaves with a gun that's got 6 bullets, because ain't no slave ready to jump out there and be like, look, I'll take a bullet for the team. I'll take one for the crowd. So what I'm saying is, you know, I don't know about y'all. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people. I got friends that have a lot of money, that are very wealthy. And it's fascinating because a lot of these friends are very liberal, and I understand their issues with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is a guy you should have issues with. He's not a very smart man. But I feel that their partisanship in this whole conversation has undermined their logic. It has caused them to feel that facts are the enemy. When I come to them and I say, well, you know, I got some data from the Centers for Disease Control that says that, you know, that the odds of catching the virus are very low, and that the odds of dying are incredibly small, and that most of the people dying, you know, that most young people under 50, that they can actually go back to work and be okay. That maybe a more intelligent quarantine strategy might be one where we simply protect the most vulnerable populations and then let everybody else kind of go back to living their lives so they can pay their bills. they get really mad. They're like, no, 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 no. Trump wants everybody to die. He wants it. And I'm like, why must we make it all about Trump? I'm not making it about Trump or anybody. I'm making it about you being able to take care of your family, man. The country doesn't have the money for 300 million people to stay home for the rest of the year. A lot of folks are going to get kicked out of their homes. You know, a lot of folks, there's going to be a lot of death and a lot of suffering as a result of the economic conditions that will be coming from an economy that has literally been ground to a complete total halt. Not to mention the fact that your kids ain't being educated. Your kids are, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's hard homeschooling kids. It's hard maintaining the same structure at home that they had at school. I ain't gonna lie, me and Alicia are both educators and both have PhDs. And even we're like, damn, man, we gotta wake up with them. We gotta watch them all the time, make sure they're doing their work. It's draining. It ain't fun. Like we want them to go back to school, you know, but then you hear people that are like, well, if you want your children to go back to school, then you want them to die. I'm like, what the how about we make a bet? Let's make a bet right now. Bet all the money in your bank account that if I send all my kids to school tomorrow, that they're gonna still come home alive. Like, and if I win, I get all the money in your bank account. How many of you, yes or no, how many of you would take that bet? Would anybody take that bet with me that if I send all my kids to school tomorrow or for another month, that every day of that month, they're going to come home alive? If they come home dead, then you win. If they come home alive, then I win. Let me just tell you the reality. There's a lot of towns like the town I live in. Our mayor, now he's older, so I can understand his fear of the virus, and he watches CNN and everything. But he'll do these little podcasts where he'll get on Zoom like I do, and he'll literally be like telling us like, this week there were no new coronavirus cases in our town. And everybody in the whole town is like, well, why are we all sitting at home? Why is everybody scared to talk to each other if there's zero cases in the town? Like, it's kind of madness, honestly. It's a little bit strange, honestly. So I'm just gonna say to you, like, stop it. Stop being a drama queen. Just stop it. Stop being a drama queen. Look, death is going to happen. Death occurs all the time. You know, especially if you're Black. We got relatives that die. We have cousins that got shot at the club. We got Aunt Susie who died from diabetes. She got a foot cut off, you know, from eating hog mugs or whatever for 30 years. Like, we have all of that in our community. So if you're really talking about preventing death, like preventing all forms of death, then I need you to either go 100 with that idea, meaning that you ban all forms of preventable death by banning liquor, sugar, cars, cigarettes, going to the club, and sex. I mean, if you're really talking about saving lives, because that's how crazy you sound when you say that we should keep the economy shut down and keep kids home from school for an entire year because of 34,000 deaths from corona. If it were 1 million deaths, then you might have more of a point. But even then, honestly, you're still talking about 1/3 of 1% of the population. 1/3 of 1%. That's 1 in every 300 people, right? But 34,000. That's like a month's work for. That's not even 2 weeks work for heart disease. And you do know that a lot of the heart disease and diabetes and stuff like that happens in our community that takes a lot of lives, thousands of lives every year. You do know a lot of that's preventable, right? You do know that you have a lot of preventable causes of death right under your nose that you ignore. Also, you can sit around and be scared to death over this virus that is very, very hard to catch. Very few people catch it, and most of the people who catch it survive just fine. It does not mean that it's not real. It does not mean that your heart doesn't go out to those people that it happened to. The same way, it's just like talking about gunshots. You know, like, just because my heart goes out to people who were shot, and lots of Black people get shot, that does not mean I wake up every day thinking that I might get shot that day. Do you follow what I'm saying? Give me a yes or no if you at least can hear my point. You ain't got to agree with me. You might think it's crazy. You might think I'm being mean. I'm not being mean. Actually, I just laid out a proposal. I took notes. I laid out a proposal that would literally reduce death by 80%. Seriously, if we ban cigarettes, sugar, liquor, cars, and sex, then we would save probably 1 million lives a year. But unfortunately, I have to tell you the truth. I kind of enjoy living life. I don't drink, but I think that we should live in a world where people are allowed to drink, even though drinking is going to cause more deaths every year than Corona ever could. I don't smoke, but I think people should have the right to do what they want if that's what they want to do. I'm not a fan of smoking. I'd be okay if they ban cigarettes tomorrow, but I don't think it's fair to people. I know, I don't go around and have lots and lots of sex with lots of people, but I would hate to live in a society that regulated sex because of the 400,000 or 500,000 people that die every year from HIV. I would hate to live in a world where people will go to jail because they were having too much sex or because they didn't wear a condom. I'm a believer in staying healthy and avoiding obesity, but I don't think sugar should be banned. And also, I would love to save 169,000 lives from car accidents, but I don't think that not driving is the appropriate trade-off. I think that would be a little bit too strict and too draconian. So so every single day in life, we're always making trade-offs. We're always making these trade-offs. And what's stupid about American politics right now, where politics has gotten so dumb to the point where I can't even watch TV more than 10 minutes without wanting to throw up, is that they're not being genuine. They're giving you information without giving any proper context. They'll tell you about some 20-year-old in Idaho who died from Corona that day. They had to search high and low to find that one 20-year-old, and they won't tell you that 20-year-old already had cancer, or that 20-year-old was obese, or that whatever or that the person, maybe they were just extremely unlucky, because they don't put it into context and say, well, you do know that the chances of a young healthy person dying, even if they get the virus, are less than 1/10 of 1%. Right? Or 1 in 1,000. They don't say any of that. Or they don't tell you that 80% or 70% of the people that are dying are so old that many of them are in nursing homes, which is the place you go when they think that you only have a few more months to live. They don't say any of that. And then when people like me bring that up and say, look, you should give people all the information so they don't sit in their houses scared to death, they say, well, you're being insensitive. People, older people, senior citizens' lives matter too. Yeah, they matter. Then okay, fine. If you're trying to go that route, then fine. Fuck it. Let's ban everything that could kill a person. Let's ban sugar and cars and liquor and sex and everything that kills people, because you're sounding stupid right now. You're sounding like you're playing politics. And I think that they're playing politics with people's lives. And I don't like that. I don't like any of it. It's something that bothers me. Also, just in case you want to know, because I have people that always come up and they'll say something stupid. Somebody who hasn't followed me that long will always say something like, well, Doc, you sound like a Trump supporter. And I'm like, first of all, I'm like, look, I'm not voting for anybody. But then number two, shut up. Just go away. Like you're sounding like a stupid, idiotic Democrat who will go along with whatever bullshit they put in your ear, which clearly means you're too stupid to even be here. I don't want stupid people on my platform. You can disagree. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to say, I have a different point of view. But you must accept that the reason you disagree is because you just have different preferences. Maybe you have a different experience. Maybe you unfortunately saw something. You were unfortunate enough to have seen, something up close that really bothered you. And I get that. And my heart goes out to you. But for you to just sit here and just say that, that we should just keep everything closed down until some Democrat or Obama comes along and tells you that it's okay to open back up, I'm not a fan of that, because I study the details. When I look at Donald Trump, I see an idiot. I see a man who's arrogant. He's a narcissist. He's not fit for leadership. But he's not 100% bad, but he's not meant to be president. When I see Obama, I see a man who manipulated the living shit out of the black community and played y'all motherfuckers like a fiddle. I mean, played y'all into the ground to the point where he's up here laughing at the fact that our community is so damn stupid, that we are stupid enough to fall for the BS and the symbolism and the ridiculousness that him and Michelle spit out, that those white boys that were advising them told them to spit out, and the black community would eat it up because they're politically ignorant. They see you as politically ignorant. I did this yesterday. I broke down yesterday what Obama did. Just one example, how he threw Acorn under the bus, a black-led organization that got hundreds of thousands of extra people to vote so they could get Obama into office. And they didn't just get Obama into office by winning those battleground states and getting hundreds of thousands of voter registrations. They got the Democrats control of the House, and they also got the Democrats control of the Senate. And when they were falsely accused in a scandal, they completely threw them under the bus. They completely abandoned Acorn. And if you're not completely offended by the fact that they went hard for them, and these were a lot of black women, that they went super hard for this man Obama, and when they needed him most, he threw them under the bus. If you're not offended by that, then I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you, because when I saw that story, it reminded me of all those times where you have these black women that will go to bat for a black man, for a certain black man, go hard for him, like literally believe every word that comes out of his mouth, have his back to the end of time, just like during slavery. And then when times get good and it's not convenient for him anymore, he throws them under the bus. Because a lot of the people I saw in Acorn were not just black, but they were actually black women. There was a black woman that was leading the organization. There were black women who were standing next to her when she was going out and registering people to vote. And all these black women, like a lot of sisters, just really like damn near worship Barack Obama. He's so sexy. He's so this. He's my new Jesus, right? And I think it's kind of funny, but it is what it is. I'm not even making fun of it, because a lot of y'all black women love that man, and I don't have any problem with that. But I think that a man has to at least show that he's worthy of that kind of love and loyalty from black women. I'm serious. And again, even if you go back into this guy's history, and I'm not dissing him at all, maybe it sounds like I am, but I just have to tell you the truth. I read something the other day about Michelle being his second choice for a wife, that he actually had some Bulgarian lady that he was in love with for 15 years before Michelle. So again, go look it up. I don't know. I got to go find it. But there was some lady, I saw a story about that. I was like, oh, wait, what? You know, but he's half white. So, you know, I guess if you're half white, you can date white girls and it's okay. But my point is to say that, you know, I think that all this like blind loyalty to somebody's idea, without doing your own homework, without doing your own research, without thinking it through, without sort of having common sense, and that at least reflects this idea that you put yourself ahead of these politicians. I don't get that. I don't get if you can't understand why that would be a beneficial way for you to view the world. I think that you should put yourself first. That's the best thing I can say to you, is put yourself first. Don't put the Republicans first. Don't put the Democrats first. Don't put CNN first. Don't put me first. Put yourself first, and look at what's in front of you, and not let all these people manipulate you, because, you know, you're not going to win that way. You're just not going to win. So I'm done talking. I've said enough this morning. I need to get to work, actually. I didn't even plan on talking this long. But yeah, but you know, that thing about Michelle, I got to go look it up. Michelle and Barack. Yeah, it kind of freaked me out. There was a guy who wrote this detailed book about Obama and his life for the last 30 years. And he said he was stunned that all the journalists and none of the journalists were able to go out and actually talk to this lady, that the lady that he dated for I don't know how many years before he dated Michelle. And I could have sworn he said something like she was French and Bulgarian or something, which pretty much translates to me, in my mind, that translates to white. But I got to go look it up. So let me just, before I say anything else about it, let me just go research it and make sure I know what I'm talking about. But I don't think that he had like this long track record of dating black women. I think that Michelle and being in Trinity United Church of Christ, all those things, at least this is what the author said. He said he's a liberal. He said that all those things were strategically done so that he could rise up the ladder. They said that Barack before 2002 was a very different person from Barack after 2002. He said that joining Trinity, marrying Michelle, a lot of those things were done for strategic reasons. That's what his claim was. And he said that, basically, they said, is Barack a good guy? He said, yeah, before 2002, I think he was a good guy. He said that after that, I feel that his ambition to become president became paramount. So every move was done to help him rise up the ladder. And if you look at his track record, around 2002 is when he joined Trinity, which was actually the church that all the bougie Negroes would go to, like all the elite black people in Chicago would go to Trinity. Because I remember I went to Trinity in 2004 to visit. I didn't know, I might have been in the church the same day as Barack. And I remember when I was there, that's what another black professional told me. They said, oh yeah, all the black elites come here. Oprah comes to this church. So you think about this, right? You know, you're trying to rise up the ladder. Well, you know, you go to this church and you're around all these connected black people that can help you rise up in politics. So long story short, it's a really fascinating story. And I think it's worth discussing for people that kind of want to understand what was really going on. But people that want to live in a fantasy, you know, you should probably ignore any of this. You probably shouldn't even subscribe to my channel. My God, I mean, if you're living in like that world that they created for you, I can only imagine the amount of shock and horror that comes when I come in and I say something that's completely orthogonal and disconnected to everything that you've ever heard before. So, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm looking for facts. I'm looking for truth. I'm looking for knowledge. I'm not looking for more political spin. That's just not how I believe in operating, because I don't believe that that's where your answers lie in this world. If you disagree with me, then ask yourself this question. Black folks that follow what mainstream media gives them, what mainstream education gives us, are those people succeeding? Are they winning? Do they feel powerful? Are they doing well? The answer is no, they're not. They're not. So I don't know what all the answers are, but I do know one answer is to not do whatever everybody else is doing, and to believe what everybody else is believing, and to follow the ideas that everybody else is following, because those ideas are a complete, total, abysmal failure. So that's where I am. That's what I believe. Those are my thoughts. I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. I know I had a lot to rant about this morning, but I had to get it out because I think it's important to have these conversations. And I wish you guys the very, very best. And I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you follow me on Instagram if you want to. You can go to The Real Boyce Watkins. If you'd like to support the platform and help us grow, we could really use your help. You can go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. If you want to learn to buy your first share of stock, if you're not a stock market investor and you want to learn, there's a free training at firstshareofstock.com. That's firstshareofstock.com. Teach your kids too, because that's going to make a big difference in their lives long term. So hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button before you go. And I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.